Many people, especially those who follow Abrahamic religions, are familiar with the evangelical messages of the Bible and all other related texts like the Quran and the Torah. However, there are some ancient books related to these faiths that have been removed from the canon of the scripture of these religions. Books like the infancy Gospel of Thomas or the Gospel of Nicodemus were removed for various reasons, ranging from their contradictions to the spiritual content of the Bible and other similar religious texts, or the fact that they lacked apostolic authorship. Another book that falls under this purview is the Book of Enoch, an ancient text that was written more than 2 millennia ago. Removed from the Christian and Jewish canon, this may have been a hard pill to swallow for those who sought to know the nitty-gritty of Christian history for many centuries, as these ancient texts contain many dark secrets that the Church wanted removed. So what could they be hiding from us? What could be so strange or foul that they had to be hidden away forever? Sit back, watch till the end as we reveal the secrets of the Book of Enoch, secrets that detail the antics of fallen angels, hybrids and prophecies of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. So let's dive right in. A good point to begin with is the man himself, Enoch. Few might know about him, but he's a more important figure in the Bible than we know. Not only was he referred to in the book of Genesis, adding somewhat to his authenticity, if you will, but he's also noted as the 7th generation direct descendant of Adam, the son of Jared. He's also the great-grandfather of Noah, a character that will be of utmost importance in the Bible and the Book of Enoch. Described as a teacher, not only is Enoch accredited with creating writing and astrology, he's also known to be one who communicated with God and served as one of his prophets on earth. Their relationship was so strong that God decided to not inflict death on him, but directly lift him to the skies. 365 years on earth, as in Genesis 5, it is said, "He was not, for God took him," which is understood to mean that he ascended into heaven. Knowing the man's history a bit, it seems rather strange that the Book of Enoch was banned. It's even stranger when you learn that back in the day, many scholars, as well as many early Christians, viewed the Book of Enoch as scripture. So what exactly could be in these ancient scrolls? We'll take a look at the first Book of Enoch, which is known as the Watcher's Book. Written around 300 BC, this might be the most infamous of all the books found in these ancient texts. This book details the descent of the Watchers, the birth of the Nephilim, and the destruction of the world that was brought about soon afterwards. How did this come about? Well, following the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, before long, they and their descendants began to flourish on earth, and this pleased God so much, he chose a group of angels referred to as the Watchers, or the Sons of God, to monitor the activities of humans as they flourished. The only condition was that they were not to interfere with human activities. However, as the Watchers carried out their duty, they found themselves falling in love with the daughters of man, so much so that they managed to convince their leader, Samyaza, to accompany them as they descend to the earth and take the earthly women as their own. Despite his reluctance, as he knew there would be dire consequences to this, Samyaza and the Watchers went along to carry out this act after the other angels convinced him by swearing they would face God's wrath together, if only that would be the end of it. The unholy union between the angels and the humans resulted in the birth of the Nephilim, a race of hybrids that was only devoted to chaos. Ravaging through all living beings, they soon descended upon the humans and even themselves just to satisfy their enormous hunger. Even worse, these angels, especially one named Azazel, went on to further corrupt the human race by introducing many foreign items and concepts that God never wished to show the humans. Apart from introducing them to sorcery, witchcraft, and the cutting up of roots, Azazel was personally responsible for teaching the humans the arts of weaponry and warfare, how to manipulate metals and precious stones into jewelry, the art of beautifying oneself with paints, and the sin of fornication. Other Watchers taught the humans about enchantment, astrology, earth signs, and the lot, and as such it appeared that the corruption of humans and the earth was now complete. Upon this corruption, the humans cried unto God. Upon hearing these tears, the archangels Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel took these pains to God and petitioned him to cast his judgment upon his dissident angels. Infuriated, God acted immediately, First, he instructed Archangel Uriel to find Noah and warn him of the upcoming disaster that will change the world as it wiped clean of iniquity, and how he must take refuge and hide until it's time for him to play his role in things. Next, God instructed Archangel Raphael to rid the world of Azazel, and Archangel Gabriel to deal with the Nephilim, and Michael to bind the Watchers for their sins. Quite the dent in how perfect angels are, right? After digesting the Watcher's book, the next book to turn your attention to is the Book of Proverbs, which details the coming of the Messiah, or the Son of Man, who will sit on the throne of judgment on the final days of time. The term Son of Man was first used in Hebrew texts such as the Book of Enoch, as was said to refer to the eschatological hero who will reign supreme come the end of days, and this helped the early Christians understand the use of the title, especially when it comes to Christ. Next, we turn to the Book of Astrology, which details the knowledge of astronomy. The contents of these pages were confirmed once 4 fragmentary editions of this text were found in Qumran. Not only does this book contain knowledge of the stars and other celestial bodies in the universe, it also contains knowledge of the heavens which were revealed to Enoch as he embarked on his journey to heaven with Archangel Uriel. It also contained details of the solar calendar, which divided the year into 4 equally long seasons of 91 days, making the year 364 days long. Following this, we turn to the Book of Dreams, which is filled with visions of the history of Israel, especially around the periods in which the Maccabean revolts occurred. Furthermore, it contained allegorical accounts based on visions in which animals were used to symbolize humans and humans were used to symbolize angels. Finally, we turn to the Epistle of Enoch, where any reader can find the Apocalypse of the Weeks, a section which details the story of the past and the future of the world through 10 weeks. The climax, which occurs on the 7th week, says that a new heaven will appear, and there shall be many weeks without number until the age, and all shall be in goodness and righteousness. Going through these scripts, it becomes more difficult to accept why these texts have been excluded from the Bible. Perhaps it's the warnings at the beginning of the book which tells readers about the judgment awaiting the sinners that are unworthy of salvation. Others may say it's due to Enoch's travels through the heavens as he relayed God's messages to and from earth that might have attracted some scorn. Maybe it's also the strange creatures who committed such strange acts that contradicted the scripture. Either way, there are many scriptures within the scrolls of the Book of Enoch, and all one has to do is go through the pages to unlock these secrets. Well, that's all for today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'd be notified about our next videos. Trust me, you don't want to miss any of that.